Hi, everyone. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of this channel. Just a reminder, if you haven't subscribed, please check, or if you have, please check your subscription. It does help the channel. So anyway, blah, 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 blah. So happy to see all of you. Well, I'm not seeing you, but those of you who are here, thank you. And thank you for the comments. I really appreciate your interaction. And it helps others. When you share your insights or stories, it really does help others as well. So that's the whole point of trying to become and develop a community. All right, on to the reading. So, hi, I'm Holly, psychic medium energy reader. So I will use tarot and oracle as a jumping off point to listen to the voice of spirit. Just remember, any kind of tarot or pendulum or whatever it is you do that is not a direct message from spirit, that is a download of sorts, just remember it is a tool. It is only a tool. Important tools, but still they are tools. Okay, on to it. The vibe for the week feels very different than last week. Last week, oh wow, was it a rough week. It was really a rough week. Now, where I live, there's also a lot of rain, and I can't help but think that there's a certain amount of cleansing and clearing out that's happening with that as well. So, the vibe. When I ask Spirit, what is the vibe for this coming week? When you see this, it will be Monday. I'm making it on Sunday. I'm sorry, my nose itches. Oh, okay. I just had to do that. Sorry. All right. So the vibe of the week, I immediately looked for this. You know, I thought I was picking up Boss Babe because I'm like, we need to stand in our power. We are standing in our power. This week is so much different than last week. But instead, this is the one I sought out. She believed she could, so she did. If you are in a place of confusion, and this is the vibe, and this is what I'm getting. If you are in a place of confusion, just halt, stop where you are. There's clarity. If you haven't already received clarity, there's clarity coming. And it is coming in the form of one of those, what the vision I'm getting in my head is of someone sitting back and just watching and going, oh, I understand now. I get it. Okay? So that being the case, when you get that aha, epiphanal moment, don't blow it off. Don't question yourself. Just rely on what you believe you are seeing, and not what you believe even, what you know you're seeing, what you're hearing. Absorb it with all of your senses. Remove yourself from your own emotional state, because this is huge, you all. This is big. When you, in whatever area of your life it's in, I feel like this is the week for an epiphanal moment. And you're not going to have to work for it. You're not going to have to seek and search for it, huh, baby? You're not going to have to do anything other than be like a sponge and absorb the information through all of your senses. Spirit is not going to let you down. Your guides and your guardians, they will never let you down. They will just show you the truth of things. Now, how you respond to that truth will be up to you. You may find compassion. You may find a loving energy. You might find a time to put your foot down and say, oh, no, this is just nothing right about this. Or you could just say, I get it, and I have so much love and compassion for all involved now. Or you could just say, ooh, and this is one of my favorite phrases, you all, you know I love a good old phrase, not my circus, not my monkeys. Or you could say, not my circus, not my clown show. I like that one even better, because I kind of like monkeys. When I was a kid, I always wanted one. I know that's not practical and it would be cruel, but, you know, I was a kid. I was like 8. So anyway, instead I got beautiful little kitty cats. All right, so let's get to it. Let's get to the reading. I'm really curious what's going to happen. And I went to an event yesterday, and they had pocket-sized tarot and oracle, 2 pocket-sized tarot decks and an oracle deck, and they were $5 each. That's less than one deck would be all put together. So of course I had to get them. I'm like, yeah, $5 each, you bet. This one is very interesting. It's the Past Life deck, and it's an older one because it still lists Doreen Virtue on it, and she has just totally dropped off the the scene. But she did this in conjunction with Brian Weiss, W-E-I-S-S. He is a medical doctor. He's an MD, but he also, a psychiatrist, but he wrote pivotal books. And I got to hear him speak one time, and it was unbelievable. It was moving. It was life-changing. It truly was. He was an incredible, or still is an incredible human being. He's elderly now, and I don't know that he speaks in public anymore. I'm not for sure. If you ever have an opportunity, it's worth it. And if nothing else, read his books. But Brian Weiss, and I'll show you there we go. I know, I'm a little jittery. Brian Weiss, oh baby, please don't. He is at the forefront of doing past life regression, and he stumbled upon it. He was not a believer in any of this when he first started, and now he has changed the face of the way people view the soul and past lives, and through academic research, instead of just relying on someone like me who's a medium. And yeah, I understand academic research. I know how to do it. I was an academician at one point, but medieval studies doesn't count in the world of science, you know? So, baby, would you get down for me? Thank you. But he's just an absolutely amazing human being. All right. So this is about past lives, and we're going to start with that because I feel like I was playing with it last night, and I feel like there's a message. There was a reason why this came across my path when it did. All right, so what is the message for the collective, please? What is the message for the collective? You are finishing out a karmic cycle. I do know that. I'm hearing that very clearly, and that is going to be part of the change this week. You are closing out a karmic cycle. All right? You are closing out a karmic cycle. That's huge. So anything after you acknowledge it, it's going to take acknowledgement. So once you acknowledge that this karmic cycle is rolling to a close, you're identifying a pattern, a karmic pattern. That's what it's going to be. And that could be related to that aha moment that was part of the initial vibe. Hang on a minute. I need a drink of coffee. Cheers. If there's an Aldi where you live, it's kind of the down-home version of a Trader Joe's. They were siblings in Germany, and they opened 2 stores, and then they moved to the States, and that's the story behind it. But this was an Aldi seasonal one, and I just held on to it for a little while. Wow, it's good, and it was cheap. Oh, that's delightful. Okay, on to it. Cheers, everyone. All right, so the karmic cycle, it's going to be a matter of you, I think it's tied to that epiphanal moment. And then when you see it, you recognize it, you understand, oh, this is why I keep attracting this kind of situation in my life. And it doesn't matter what area of your life it's in. And it could overlap into, more than likely, it will overlap into multiple areas. But once you recognize it, you see it, you have that, oh my gosh, I'm in that situation again, whatever that situation might be for you. And this is a general reading. Please understand that. Only take what resonates. Once you identify it and you understand it, things will either change within the situation, or you will change enough that you're like, I'm just going to stand back and let this play out. One way or the other, the karmic cycle has ended and broken. All right, this deck is opening. I've been shuffling. It's opening right into the, oh, of course. It opened right to this. It wasn't a clean split in the middle. And this is the card that I'm seeing. Lessons and blessings. And that's exactly what we're talking about. Underneath that, angels. So call on your angels to support you. Call on your guides to support you. And on the other side, this may only be a few of you, but these 2 cards are really important. Orphan and forgiveness. So, I just got a sharp pinch in my chest. What was that about, please? Oh, we got a spirit coming in. All right. When you're a physical medium, often that's how they identify themselves. So someone who passed of a heart attack or a coronary of some sort, heart failure, they had arrhythmia, they were, this was a large person who, they mean you no harm. So they may have been verbally abusive in life. I don't know if they were physically abusive. I feel like they were more verbally abusive because, or demeaning, because they were not happy within themselves in their own, in his or her own life. I feel like it's a masculine feminine, if that makes sense. I feel like this was a female in life, but a very dominant energy, okay? The orphan, the forgiveness, that is about making peace with a karmic cycle related to maybe someone that has moved on, and that could be why this person's, that's why this person is coming through. They're issuing an apology. All right, let's get into that because I think that the rest of it is pretty clear. Once you acknowledge the lesson or the cycle that's being repeated, that's when it pretty much stops. Okay, or you have control over it instead of it over you. It doesn't pull your emotional strings. So, Maribeth, Mirabelle, Bethy, something about Beth is embedded in the name somehow, but it's not the start of it, it's the middle of the name. Many sleepless nights. So the person in the living is having, oh, you also had many sleep. So the insomnia is at play. So there is a sense of insomnia. This person may have been Germanic in origin. She may have been German, because I'm hearing, even the word when I said halt earlier, I'm like, okay, that's not a word I use. Where did that come from? And I was wondering, but I had to say it. Normally I would just say, stop. So yeah, so this is a woman who was from Germany. This is not, this might, I feel like whomever is in the collective, this would have been older than you. So, well, obviously older than you, but not as in a parent. I feel like this was a grandmother or a great-grandmother who created that karmic cycle in the family because she brought it with her. I believe she spent her formative years in Germany. Can you show me a map, please, in my head and show me where? Show me where, please. Okay, I'm seeing Rhineland, and Berlin. But this would have been before a division. And then she moved here. When did you move here? 1940s? Okay. No, not Jewish. Okay, whomever this is for, you might be a lot younger than me. Because if this is your grandmother, no, you could be close to the same age. Okay, just get to it. She's getting impatient with me now. Boy, you carried over a whole lot of that personality. I don't care for it. Have you crossed? Have you transitioned? You are in the, all right, she is in the gateway. She's standing half in, half out. She's not sure what to do. She's not sure if she'll be welcome. You are welcome. You are always welcome. You are welcome in that gateway. You will heal. You will, your family, generational, karmic cycles will heal. Oh, she's lighting. Oh gosh, she's light. Her energy is getting so much lighter. Oh, I feel like I can take a breath. The person in life, you're using food as a crutch. So you're not actually hungry. You're using it to fill the hole of feeling unloved. I understand that. Woo, baby, I understand that. Oh gosh, I feel dizzy. All right, the reason I feel dizzy is because she's transitioning and I'm not facilitating it. So I'm not opening the gateway. It's just opening on its own. She's calling in her ancestors, and you have, if you're in the living, and this is you understand this. My time frames may be a little off, but I'm distinctly getting that she moved to this country because she was, she was carrying a lot of guilt. No wonder. I thought she may not have been as old as I thought, but she was. She left a husband there and possibly a family because she said she wasn't married a GI and came to this country. Oh, ooh, okay. And she carried a lot of guilt with that. Wow, okay. Okay. But she is transitioning. You always wondered. You thought about doing a DNA test to find out if you had relatives there because you wouldn't talk about it. You would find them, but it may not be what you want to find because there may be some anger about it. Or people there may just, the people who are your half siblings now, they may just want to know the truth. She left because she didn't like what was happening. Oh, well, I kind of understand this. She left because she didn't like what was happening in the country, and she couldn't convince her current husband to leave, and everybody was starting to toe the line. Oh. So she was faced with a difficult situation, and she didn't know what to do. And she may have been hiding something about her own family's history and past. I understand that. And if it came out, she would have been compromised. Her husband at that time didn't even know about it. That's the orphan card. She said she was an orphan when she married him. The anti-Semitic fervor was deeply rooted. So she thought she was making a better life for her kids there, and she wasn't. And oh, well, okay. But they survived, so maybe they can make their own decisions now. This woman, it's not all that meets the eye. Things are not what meets the eye. If this is your reading, she did the best she could in the face of impossible circumstances because no one would listen to her there. Unfortunately, the weight of that guilt carried over with her here. And that has trickled down to you and your children. Hence the using food as a comfort. Once this is addressed, that will no longer be necessary. And she has moved on. She has completely moved on. And she is seeing family. She is reunited with a grandfather she didn't know she even had. And she is being welcomed into the fold. Now, what that means for you, if this is your reading. You may receive help that you don't expect, but you should feel emotionally lighter and lifted. Your children will start possibly asking more questions, so be as open as you can. This is an intense one. Okay. But your life is about to change and get better. Allow it to happen and know that you did nothing wrong. And just as she did, you coped in the way that you could. For some of you, this could be a mother, but it's a mother-grandmother. I don't know. I'm not sure how that works because of the time frames and the ages, and it's all kind of muddled together now. I still feel like she's a grandmother, though. All right, let's move on. Okay, oh gosh, we're 20 minutes in. Whew. All right, and I'm starting to feel a little bit clearer headed. All right, let's look at the Neoteric Feminine, and we are going to get a general message. Thank you. She's hanging out and watching from a distance a little bit. Now that she has transitioned, thank you. The reason why she came through, she didn't need me to help facilitate it, but she did want me to express this sentiment and give this message. Okay, thank you. And now she's moving on completely. Okay. Wow. All right. This one on top. Ooh. Okay. All right. Here's... Okay. And they want this one on. They want me to take off. I was shuffling as I was talking. They want me to take these directly off the top. Okay. This is a week for coming to terms with epiphanal karmic knowledge and lessons. All right. So if this doesn't have to relate to the previous crossing and the person involved. So, all right. Now, this is the next. So we got two readings in here. One is a crossing, and now we've got this one. All right. Here we go. Now, we still have the same type of message, though. First card, the Devil. Then we have Seven of Swords. And then we have Queen of Swords. Two of Wands. And the Ace of Wands. So, in order, you kind of start out in the thick of it, okay? You kind of start out thinking, seriously? You are carrying a burden and you are so over it. You are finished with it. You don't want to deal with it anymore. That's it. You become the Queen of Swords. You're like, you got something to say to me? Here I am, say it. That's Queen of Swords energy right now, coming off the heels of the Devil and the Seven of Swords. But this is also a fair queen. She knows her mind. She takes care of her own business. She doesn't put up with crap. And she is very intuitive because she gets the download fast. Okay? Now, I'm going to put on my glasses for a minute. The flower that she's wearing like a corsage, that's a bird of paradise. Because I heard, look in her arm. And it's not the sword, because we know about that. But without my glasses, it looked like she was holding something. But actually, she just has her hand up. And she's wearing flowers like a corsage. And the flowers are the bird of paradise flowers. Something tropical. Because when I looked at this, it was that tropical background that caught my eye more than anything. Oh, and I got a little green purse like that. Oh, I love a green purse. Okay, that's aside. That's just a little aside here. So this queen is stepping into her authority. Bird of paradise. We need to look up what bird of paradise means. I don't off the cuff know what that is symbolic of. I do know that it is a tropical flower, but if any of you know, add it in the comments, please. It is a burst of rejuvenated energy. I think that's what it means in this reading for this moment, because that's what I'm getting. That's what because I'm asking. Help me out here. It is a burst of rejuvenated energy because of the burst of color. You are watching and waiting for your epiphanal moment. You are watching and waiting to see what happens next. What happens next is that you receive your moment. You receive your divine knowledge. You decide and you receive. Well, you receive and then you decide. And the wand in this instance is significant because it's not any of the other suits. This one feels like it, and it represents a fiery, normally it's a fiery energy of acceleration, but it feels like it's more, help me out here. When you know, you know. That's it. It's a calm, centered knowing, and it's peaceful. Those dogwood flowers that look like roses, it is a calm, the flowers on the last three cards are all significant. There are flowers on the staffs. There are flowers on the wand here. There's the bird of paradise on her lapel. This flower energy is significant. If you have any rose quartz, if you have any rough kunzite, if you have gem quality kunzite, kudos to you. But anything in that vein, if you have sort of a Jimmy rhodochrosite maybe, or if you have anything that is in that lepidolite even, which is more of a purple but has some mica in it, so it sparkles. If you have any of these pinkish or type gemstones, pink tourmaline, pink sapphire, some of them are pricey, some of them are not, and it depends on the form in which you find it. But if you have any of those stones right now, you may want to keep those near you. They will help facilitate a calming and loving energy. So earlier when I wasn't sure if it was going to be a fiery epiphanal moment or a calm and compassionate knowing moment, I'm leaning toward the calm, compassionate knowing moment, but you are going to stand in some serious power and glory. You are not going to back down. Okay. It's coming. Some of you may have already had the epiphanal moment, and so now you are at the stage of being the Queen of Swords. So I feel like some of you went through that over the weekend. So Monday's going to be when you, and I open to the middle of the deck as I was instructed to do, that is when you reap your benefits and you receive the recognition you deserve. That's what I'm getting. You receive the recognition you deserve. And the one that was on top of that, the Magician. You decide. You are going to create something magical and of force. Your life is about to change in a very positive way because you are going to decide it so. You do not see yourself as a victim. And that's important. That's important to remember. Okay. And actually, you know what? Do I have it in here, my little bowl? Yes. Well, hold on. This is a kunzite bracelet. It's rough. It's on an elastic stretch. It was like $8. So you don't have to spend a fortune on stones. Now, the super like Jimmy polished gem quality version, that's pricey. But this is a polished opaque stone. Some of them are a little translucent, but you can kind of get a sense of it. It's like a lavenderish pinkish, and it was $8. So I love this stone, and I am going to wear this right now. I even keep it in my little singing bowl. Oh gosh. Okay. But yeah, I keep it in my little singing bowl for that reason. It also helps to purify it. So as far as I'm concerned, sound healing. And anyway, so there we go. I think we're good. This was eventful and unexpected. I had no idea the past life cards were going to come in that handy. All right. Thank you for being here. And I am going to call this a reading. You know what? Ultimately, it doesn't matter who did what in our lives. We are in control. It is up to us. This is but one of many lifetimes, one of many chapters in our soul's book. So you decide what you want this chapter to look like. Truly. The soul is perfect, and the soul knows. The soul is what connects us to the other side and to our teams and our wisdom. And being human can be hard, so cut yourself some slack. And if you have a day when you're like, I just can't people today, then that's okay. And you withdraw if at all possible. But just remember, it's your chapter. You're the author of the chapter of this book of your soul. Okay? I am sending you love and gratitude. Thank you. We'll talk really soon.